Despite the highly engineered nature of systems in a data center, it is still likely that failures will happen. We have already considered the cost of downtime, but what about the cost of data loss? And it's not just system failures which can cause problems. Data can be deleted, accidentally or maliciously. Viruses can corrupt it, hackers can steal it, and disasters can wipe out entire data centers. If data is more valuable than oil, then losing it carries an obvious cost. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Consider a financial transaction in a bank. Even a single transaction, despite being a very small amount of data, could be worth millions of dollars. Losing this type of data is unthinkable. And remember, if it's not stored somewhere, it does not exist. The upshot of all of this is that data needs to be protected. There is an old saying that if you don't have your data in 3 places, then you don't have it. The traditional way of achieving this is through data backup. Data backup is conceptually quite simple. It means taking a copy of the data and putting it somewhere safe. In most cases, it's also copied at least one more time to be sure. A traditional backup scheme might include a backup copy of data onto a hard disk-based system, which means it can be restored relatively quickly, with a secondary copy being copied onto tape. Tapes can be stored off-site, so even in the case of a major disaster like fire or flood, the data will be intact. The downside of tape is that it is slow to read from, and finding specific data can be difficult. Note that the costs of protecting data are significant. Based on our simple scenario, the data is in 3 places, meaning 3 times the storage capacity is required, plus the software and equipment to perform the backups, as well as the cost of transporting, then storing all of those tapes. This must all be factored into the cost of storing our terabyte of data. Disaster recovery is all about reducing business downtime in the case of disasters happening. Disasters can range in scale. It's not all about the apocalypse, earthquakes, fire and floods, though these may well be factored into a disaster recovery plan. It's also about smaller but perhaps more likely disasters like power outages, equipment failures, network failures, etc. A term which is often associated with disaster recovery is business continuity. There is a subtle but significant difference. Disaster recovery is centered on plans, processes and technology which can help an organization get back to an operational level within a given time frame. Services are often categorized and tiered based on their criticality to the business. So for example, a transactional banking system will be far more critical than, say, an HR system which is used to track staff holidays and sick leave. Business continuity is centered on maintaining operations despite disasters. So for example, we might design our transactional banking system such that it utilizes resources across 3 data centers, with synchronous data protection and automated 3-way failover, such that even if an entire data center fails, no data is lost and applications can keep running. It should be noted that the costs for achieving this can be eye-watering, as it requires investment into all the data center technologies, including servers, storage and networking. External services such as electricity supplies and telecoms also need to be protected.